well, that's the end of Tower of God for now. For now. That ending definitely tells me we're getting a season 2 at some point. Also, if you want to check out my immediate thoughts on the episode as they happened, then go ahead and check out my boy Sun Wukong's channel. I'll have the link in the description as well as like the pinned comment, so you can go check out the video that me and Sun did on the finale. It was super good, but without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about episode 13, the season 1 finale to Tower of God, titled Tower of God. But before we do that, as usual, I have to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter. So a big thank you to Similarity, J Togepi, Naya3142, Daniel STG, and Janame. Thank you guys so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, and thank you to everybody who supported these Tower of God videos. It was quite the surprise to see how many of you came to support these videos, but I really, really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you around for Season 2, and hopefully I'll see you for God of High School as well, because that looks particularly hype too. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So we begin in Flashback City this week. Honestly, most of the episode is spent in Flashback City, so I hope you got your town map, because you're gonna be spending a lot of time here. It's literally, I think the first 15 minutes is Flashback City, but it's not recap, which is nice. It's actually events from the show, but shown from Rachel's point of view, which is interesting and definitely changes the way I had viewed the story up until now. These first 15 minutes give you like the same information that you already knew, but give you a little bit more. You feel like you have slightly more of an idea of what's going on, but at the same time, there's still so much intrigue and mystery going on. Like, you're still wondering, like, okay, like, how did we know where Rachel's coming from now, which is great, but like, why though? Like, that's the thing. Like you're starting to notice a lot more that there's a lot more people pulling strings behind the scenes, and it makes me question people like Barista Boy, who we'll get to, as well as Head On and the red-haired girl whose name still escapes me. In fact, I don't think they've actually said the name in the show yet, so I feel like I'm forgiven on that front. Needless to say, Head On meets Rachel in these early 15 minutes. Basically, we see Rachel's initial leaving of BAM, where she goes through the gates, like that big-ass gate into the tower, and she meets Head On. And I miss Head On. I was like, man, Head On. I missed you, man. You strange alien bunny man. It was fun to see him. And what I loved was Head On makes Rachel feel like totally inferior. Because Rachel's like, please let me climb the tower. This is all I've ever wanted. I just want to see the stars. And he's like, no, bitch. You want to be a star. There is a world of difference. You don't actually give a shit about the stars. You just want to get to the top of the tower to be a star. You don't want to see them. And I loved that Head On just calls Rachel out this whole time. Just makes her feel like the garbage human that she is. Oh my god, Rachel's just the worst. But I loved that Rachel gets so salty. That's the one thing I gotta say, right? Because I've seen some people be like, I will say, there's people who love Rachel. I may not understand it, but they exist. There are people who are ride or die for Rachel's nonsense. And listen, I like to see Rachel's nonsense, don't get me wrong, but I don't like Rachel like that. To me, Rachel is this insanely well-written character that I love to hate. That's the thing. I don't like Rachel just because she's well-written doesn't mean you have to like her. She's specifically written to make you not like her. She's awful. Awful. And I've said, this chick is evil, man. This chick is terrible. And the reason why, because I've seen some people be, some webtoon readers, get all freaking upset because they're like, oh, they made her, she's too kind to BAM. That makes me hate her more. The fact that she knows BAM is good. That makes it worse. The fact that she actually cares about this man. That's what makes it 10 times worse. Is the fact that she cares and is still willing to put her own selfish ambition before this man. That makes her worse, not better. You know what I mean? That makes her a worse person and a better written character. That's the one thing I will give Rachel. She is one of the best written characters in the show because you hate her. I hate Rachel. She's awful. And hearing her say, and I wrote this quote down, all BAM did was follow me. why does he get everything? He's just Bam. Like, that made me go like, you selfish. Like, oh, you selfish bitch. Like, Rachel is awful. Just the worst. At the same time, though, I can't help it when she's on screen. I'm like, ooh, Rachel. Ooh, Rachel. There's two characters that are like that right now for me. There's Rachel from Tower of God, and there's Akito from Fruba, where every time I see them, I'm like, ooh, ooh, you're the worst. And the funniest thing to me is that Head-On, this man agrees. Another quote from the episode, and just, God, these opening 15 minutes, you love to see it. Head-On says, the ugliness seeping out from inside you makes me cringe. It's like, oh, that line delivery is ace. My God, it's so marvelous. I loved Head-On, man. I miss this man. Like, I was so happy to see him. It felt like going full circle, seeing Rachel's point of view. And the fact that she was there. Rachel was there the whole time. When Bam did his whole, like, when Rachel's like, I can't do that, that's impossible. And Bam's like, well, that's tricky, but I think I could do it if Rachel's in trouble. Like, that's the difference between the two of them, is that Rachel is quick to give up. Rachel has a brittle spirit. Like, that's the difference. Is that Bam might not be, like, the most physically imposing dude, but he got a strong spirit. Rachel's spirit is brittle, man. Like, Rachel sucks, like, straight up. And Head-On even says as much when he says, like, you're, like, that was a pretty weak amount of Shinsu, and you're already wiped out. Like, your dream is bigger than you can actually handle. Like, I love that he calls her out, because rightfully so. Like, but here's where Head-On kind of loses me a little bit, where Head-On makes this deal with Rachel, saying, like, I'll make you an offer, okay? End Bam's story with your own hands, and then you can climb the tower. You don't need him anymore, right? You said so yourself. So it's like, okay, this is what I mean by we get an explanation of why Rachel did the things she does, but we still don't know why characters like Head-On or Barista Boy or even the king himself, we don't know why certain events are being put into place. We just know that there's a game being played. Specifically, a game being played with Rachel and Bam. More so Bam. Rachel's sort of there, but Bam is the one who seems to be at the heart of a lot of this. I can't help but feel like Bam is far more important to the grander narrative. Obviously, he's the main character, right? We know this. But I mean, in terms of like who he is in a game of chess, he's not a pawn. He's like an important ass piece. I don't know what piece is more important than a pawn. Several other pieces are more important than a pawn. I get that. But I don't know what is a very important piece without being the king. You know what I mean? Maybe the queen. I don't know. I don't play chess. I'm not a Twitch streamer. I don't play chess. I mean, I am, but I don't play chess. But it's interesting to me that he makes this offer to Rachel, right? Because it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Like, what do you have to gain? What do you have to lose? I don't know why Head-On is making this deal with Rachel. But what's very clear is that he's not alone, because Barista Boy and red-headed spandex lady, the other princess, whose name is escaping me, they seem in on this. Like, they seem to be playing to Rachel's plan. You know what I mean? Like, they seem to be helping Rachel set things into motion. And I just want to know why. I have several questions. I just want to know why. And before anybody says, well, you should read the webtoon, be real with yourselves. It's me. You know that's not going to happen. But like I said, this whole flashback totally changed the way that I viewed everything we saw up until now. And the fact that Rachel is so twisted and broken that she knows she cares about Bam, but at the same time hates that Bam, this duckling who followed her around, who imprinted onto her like she was his mom, this duckling has outdone her in every possible way she thought. Bam is getting all the attention, he's getting all the friends, he's doing all the things that Rachel wanted to do in the tower, and she's jealous of that, even though she cares about him. That jealousy, that anger, and her own ambition outweigh that. And that is an awful person but a great character. But some other important stuff happens in this episode, right? I said the first 15 minutes of this episode are flashback from Rachel's point of view, but it's not the whole thing, because we do got to talk about the results of the test, which we do get to see, as well as a time skip, but we'll get there. I gotta say, seeing the results of the test hurt, because like I was good up until I heard Rack scream. That's where I was like, in Sun's reaction that we did, I straight up said like, I'm about to cry. Like seeing Rack scream in pain, knowing that Bam is possibly dead. We know he's not, but when the group thinks that Bam is gone, Rack screams. And at first I was like, I got this. I can hold this together. Seeing like Shibisu and Hats get emotional was tough, but I was like, nah, I can handle this. But Rack, who's been this like comedic foil and this sort of like rock in the series, he's very much like not an emotional dude. To see him scream, like that hurt. That really hurt. I hated seeing the gang get so emotional. And again, like I said, Shibisu and Hats getting emotional too was a lot, but it was Rack screaming that really got me, because he's such a goofball. And so that's the moment that you knew that it really did hit home, that these people have lost somebody they truly care about. And for me, it was Rack's scream that really hurt. And I hope I see Team Turtle united at some point. I gotta see it, because like I hate the idea that my boy Rack thinks his favorite turtle is gone. You know, like that was hard to watch. But you know what else was hard to watch was Lero not getting vengeance on Barista Boy, because he was furious. Like my boy Lero was like, what did you do? Like he knew, like, was this all part of your plan? What'd you do? And Barista Boy, who, yes, I'm going to continue calling Barista Boy. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? He's just like, I mean, I didn't do anything. Like, you know that like smug shit. Oh, Barista Boy. He's another character that I'm like, I love you, but I hate you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I love to hate this guy. But Lero ain't having that. You know what I mean? Lero's not going to take that sitting down, because he basically tells Quant that they both got fired, and my boy pissed, right? They're both pissed, but Lero says, you can come with me. And he tells him that he's going to climb the tower to find the truth. So I like the idea that even Lero, because Lero, like, don't forget, Lero and Bam had a sort of kinship way back when, right? Like at the very beginning of the series, which feels like forever ago now. They had that conversation after the wall of Shinsu. Remember, like they were sitting down. Even my boy Shibisu was like a totally different guy back then. But we see the two of them sitting down and having a conversation, and you could tell that Bam did make an impression on Lero. He's one of those people that, and I feel like everybody knows people like this, like Bam, who just have this sort of like positive vibe that just sort of draws you in. You can't help but like them. And I think losing Bam hurt even Lero. And he's pissed with Barista Boy, and he's gonna get to the bottom of it, and I look forward to seeing Lero become my favorite. I have a feeling like he will reach that point. I don't know why, it's just the vibe that I get. Like just the way that he holds himself, because he's already amongst my favorites, but we didn't get a whole lot to see from him, but I have a feeling big things are coming for my boy in a future season. And big things are coming for a certain traitor as well, as Rachel seemingly gets everything she ever wanted. You know, and Rachel, you know what happened to the person who got everything they ever wanted? They lived happily ever after. Except for you. Like, I just, seeing Rachel cackle like light goddamn Yagami, that blew my mind. Seeing this girl, like, have a charty laugh at what becomes of my son, my boy, and she gets everything. She gets everything that she wanted, right? Everything that Bam had, she takes. It's like she made Bam go bankrupt on one of her properties in Monopoly. Everything that Bam owned is now hers. All his friends, the spotlight, their admiration, it's all hers now. And so she lets out this evil, twisted laugh. That's where I point to like people saying like, she's not evil, she's just like, you know, she's just a manipulated person, you know, she's not sure what to feel, she's not bad. Bitch, she laughed like a textbook stock ass villain. she might as well have tied up somebody on a railroad and twirled a mustache for how evil that laugh was. My girl is evil incarnate right now. Like, she may not have been, like, started that way. She may not have started that way. But she's evil now. Like this to me is like the transformation into like a supervillain to me, where I'm like, she has gone full. This is like, you know what, I don't want to say, but this is like, I was gonna spoil something, but I'm not gonna do that. But this is just every like emotional villain turn, where it's like you understand why they did the things they did. Like, you get why Rachel does this. It doesn't make me forgive her, and I will never condone, but I understand. You know what I mean? Like, I get why she did the things she does. I get how she arrives there. I just don't condone, nor do I stand for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't abide this. And you know who else can't abide this? My boy. Kun knows. I refuse to believe that Kun doesn't know. The way that he says, like, you know, Bam really cared about you. And Rachel's like, yeah, I know. No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be standing here right now. You wouldn't be here right now. Because you ain't standing. But he knows that she can. I have a feeling he knows she can. Like, I have a feeling that Kun knows everything. He doesn't know the precise reasons why, but I think he has ample reason to be suspicious of this chick. But I also think he knows that, like, you're faking it, and there's no shot that Bam died because of a freak accident, like, because the bull got him. Bullshit. You did this. Like, I think he knows, right? And I love the line, and you guys know me, kabam, one last time this season, I'ma say it, and I'ma shout it from the rooftops, kabam is life. And if you're watching this live, in fact, if you're even in the comments, I better see some hashtag kabam is life, okay? Because kabam is life. And the fact that my boy says, I wish I knew him before you. Like, I was like, yes, I too wish you knew Bam first. Because, like, that's him saying, like, he should have been mine. And, like, listen, I know some people are like, some people don't like that I ship Kun and Bam. To that, I say, you on the wrong channel, sweetheart. Like, you were in the wrong area. Kabam is life. And I love that he's, like, seemingly gonna play along with this act. Because everyone's like, we're gonna, like, fulfill Bam's wish of, like, bringing Rachel to the top. And I'm not blaming them. I thought when Hat said that, I'm like, see, that's my son right there, because that's what he would say, because he thinks that this is what Bam would want, but this is not what my man would want right now. But my boy isn't dead, thank God. My boy is resting on the bottom of the wherever the hell they were, at the bottom of that lake, and my girl walks up to him. I can't remember her name, so I'm gonna just call her Redhead. Walks up to him. And I love this girl. I can't wait to know more. When we were in Sunstream, everybody was correcting Sun on his pronunciation, and I have completely forgotten how to pronounce it, so I don't even remember what it was close to. So again, Redhead. But I want to know more about this girl, because she walks up to him and says, like, even every star can a star can burn bright anywhere, or whatever it was. Like, just basically saying, like, you're a star. Rachel sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. And she says, like, she pulls a Darth Vader, like, join me and together we can rule the tower as two dope people. I don't know. But he says no. My boy refuses. He stands his ground. He's done with these games, and my boy stands tall. He says he's gonna find them. He's gonna figure this out. And I was like, yes, Bam! Yes! At least that's what I took away from the scene. Was Bam saying, like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna get through this on my own. And I was like, yes, that's my boy. That's my boy. But more importantly, and I'm probably using this as the picture you're seeing on screen. If not, here it is now. But my boy gets a time skip, and he looks like an absolute boss. We don't see his face, so it might not be Bam, but I'm gonna say that's Bam. And if that's Bam, my boy's rocking that ponytail. My boy looks fire, and I cannot wait for season 2. I need it. I need it yesterday. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, because you guys know me. I'm not gonna read the webtoon. I'm just not. I just don't care to. It's not my medium. I tried reading the God of High School one. Nah. It's just not for me. Webtoons bore me. Webtoons bore me, manga bores me, light novels bores me. Light novels bore me. So, I'm gonna just be here. I'm gonna be sitting at this mic, waiting for my time that I can scream Tower of God Season 2. But on that note, everybody, I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts here. I'm so hyped. I loved Tower of God. I cannot wait for Season 2, because you know it's getting a Season 2. There's no way they're gonna end it like that with how popular the series has been, and I assume how profitable it has been for Crunchyroll. There is no shot this isn't getting a Season 2. I can't wait. Crunchyroll, I love you. Thank you for getting this show up off the damn ground. And shoutouts to Telecom, because I thought that the end, like, I know some people thought, like, oh, I wish Tower of God went to this studio or that studio. And don't get me wrong, God of High School going to Mappa has me very excited. But I thought the studio did a good job with Tower of God, man. I loved this show. It's hype as hell. I'm gonna miss it. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to boop that up, Snoot, and share if you care. And as always, before we go, I have to give a huge thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful names. Look at these beautiful people who hopefully also enjoyed Tower of God as much as I did. And if you would like to join these beautiful people, then be sure to check out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can help keep this channel afloat, and I would sincerely appreciate it. But with that said, everybody, I gotta run. I gotta stream in a minute. I'm like missing a premiere. I am a busy boy lately, and it's only gonna get more busy as we get into the summer season. But until then, you stay classy, AndyTube, and wash your dang hands.